Hello and welcome, I'm Mystical. This is Mystical Gaming. We're back into Watcher of Realms and today we're having a look at Jeera. So we're just going to quick look through a kit, see how it works, how it functions, and then you can make the decision that's best for you and your account on where you're using her. So the kit's a bit funky. We'll have a quick look through it. We'll have a bit of a play test within Guild Boss 1 to see what's actually happening, and then you're good to go, aren't you? You actually know what she's doing. So then, first things first, let's have a look at her graphically. She looks absolutely awesome. A beautiful, beautiful pair of lion's heads. Can't go wrong with that. She does look good. I mean, graphically, she looks absolutely brilliant. Do love the cape coming down, or sort of the rags of the cape. It looks old school, sort of gladiator type vibe to me. I think she looks absolutely brilliant. Good job on that so far, I think. Now, the only other thing we need to look at is a kit as good as aesthetically how she looks. Now, her kit's a bit quirky and it's nice to see them trying something new. Some I think works, some I think doesn't work quite as well. So we'll sort of break it down step by step and we'll have a look at each one of them as we progress through. So then, increase max HP by 30%, always good, always nice to have extra HP. The higher the current HP percentage, the higher the hero's vulnerability. So more HP percent she's got, up to 100%, the higher the vulnerability she's got against attacks, up to 30%. So she can have up to 30% vulnerability when her HP is all the way up. As it comes down, and then she will lose some of that off. So that's her talent out the way. Now, the other thing is I've left her ungeared, but she has got a really high base HP. Look at that. She's got 35,000 HP. So what's that? Another 10,000 HP just for being her and her talent. That's it. She gets 10,000 HP from that. Now, the other thing to bear in mind is that's not her only HP, but she'll also get HP from your Paragon bonus as well. So when she's deployed, so don't forget that, you've probably got another 25-35% or wherever you are on your Paragon attached to that HP as well. So that could be another 12-13k on top of her HP. So she's got a massive HP pool. Now, her other abilities aren't quite as easy to get through. Let's start with the easiest one. Arena damage increase. Passive increases damage in the arena by 15%. Nice and easy. Put her in the arena, she gets 15% more damage. Her basic attack is physical attack. Deals 100% damage to one enemy. I apologise, I've already put dust into her before I start to test her. I prefer to test people naked without anything in, and then we can sort of assess where we actually want our dust and skill crystals to go. So I got one in the basic attack and I got one in the ultimate. Apologies there before I stop myself. Right, Divine Reprisal. This is a monstrous ability. So we'll have a look in the Guild Boss and we'll see how this actually works when we play test her. So we'll have a mess about and we'll have a look at how this actually works. So let's jump into the Guild Boss. Let's get her hitting some stuff. She's still naked, so she's got no gear on, so the numbers aren't going to be big, but we're just after functionality. And let's get my fat head out the way as well. So we scoot me over here, then we can actually see what's happening. So every 3 basic attacks, the 4th basic attack deals 150% damage, along with defense penetrating damage equal to 100% total damage the hero has taken previously. The accumulating damage effect will be reset once it takes effect. Accumulated damage will not exceed 150% of the hero's max HP. Oh, that's a lot to get through. Right then. So she does 3 basic attacks. Then she'll do a 4th attack, and on that 4th attack, that will be dealt with 150% damage. And on top of that, any damage she's taken gets hit back as well, 100% of it, and she has defense penetrating damage. Right, so that's good. Let's go and watch that in action. So we are hitting around for 4,700. Then we do our attack and we hit back. Then we're now doing 150% attack. So we're now hitting back for 6,300, which is nice. And then she's also... Did we get another attack in there? Or can see. We'll have a look next time round. So this time we take 13,500 points of damage. Now we're just waiting for that double hit to come round to see how it works. Here we go. There's the 6,300 for the 150%. There is 10,500, and that is just what she reflects back. So that's quite nice. We quite like that. It's a nice little added ability that gets put in there. And then after that, there she goes again. She's taking less damage, so she's doing less back. Because her HP has gone down, she's taking less damage. Right, that is how that skill actually works. Now let's get on to this passive. This is where more of the issues come in for me. So, inflicts retribution on enemies. That's nice, retribution sounds good, but you don't know which enemies it's been done on because it's not like a debuff where you can actually see it on someone. There isn't an icon attached to it, so you don't know who you've attacked or who it's attached to, which could cause a bit of a problem. It's probably the one she's attacking, so it may not be an issue, but just so you're aware, there's no debuff attached to it. That's the first part. Now, when attacking a target inflicted with retribution, she deals additional damage equal to 2% of the hero's max HP. Now, we've already discussed you can have a brilliant pool of HP. But if I assume I get it all the way up to like 200,000 HP, then 2% is 4k. It's nothing. It's not a big hit at all. All damage received from enemies not inflicted with retribution is reduced by 20%. Well, that's nice, but she's a fighter, so I can only block 2. So I'm attacking 1 unit, and then the other unit that's attacking me will give me 20% less. That's not much. If I put the artifact on her, so I can get a block up to 3, and I've got 2 units attacking me at 20% less, which is better, but it's still not fantastic, I don't think. And the 2% on max HP is negligible. I feel you could make that up quite easily in other stats. Switching targets removes the retribution inflicted on the previous target, so you can't go attacking that person, attack that person, or do something like that. It's just on the target she's attacking, so you can't really switch it about. It doesn't hold on anyone. So that passive there for me doesn't really. It's not fantastic. And then we've got our ultimate. When activated, restores 75% HP immediately, so she gets an immediate 75% HP. During the skill affected, increase max HP by 60%, so HP goes up by 60%, bonus. Damage dealt goes up by 125%, and the attack interval by 30%, so we'll increase her attack interval by 30%, lasting for 20 seconds. This effect will be permanent on the second activation, so it then becomes permanent. Now, let's go and have a look at some stuff, because that second skill, that second passive where she hits back for damage taken, that gets a bit weird. It's not damage taken and then I hit back for the damage I received. That is damage I take, and now I do an attack that is the same as the damage you gave me, so to speak. But we'll come to that in a minute. Now let's get on to her ultimate. So her ultimate says she gets 75% HP back. I've got a skill book in it, so I get 95%. As we see here, up she goes, 45k. She healed herself for. So if you've got healing effect on your gear, then you will heal yourself for an additional amount. But remember, you lose that on the second activation because it's then permanent. You will never get that heal, that big heal you're giving yourself ever again. You will just keep the additional 60% HP. So you might have to consider how much you're actually doing or how much you want that. I mean, that's the problem with the ultimate. It's really nice and that heal comes in absolutely brilliantly. I think that could be a clutch heal, but unfortunately you are only getting it twice. So here's the second time. She heals herself back up, we get that nice big heal, but that's it. The orange bar no longer moves. It's not depleting as her time goes down as she's using her ultimate, and it's not going to be filled up at all. That's it. It just stays there with the stats she's got. So that's how the ultimate is actually working. So bear that in mind. You'll never get a big 75% of your max HP heal again. It is a 2-time event, and that is it. You won't see it again. Right, moving swiftly on, let's get on to the other passive, because this I find quite interesting. Now, something else to bear in mind, she's part of the Northerner faction as well. So put a Northerner Lord up there. Now she is going to do extra damage because her stats get increased, so she will do extra damage, which is nice. But she'll also take less damage. Now she's taking less because of a shield. She will then do less back on this passive. So we're actually doing a bit more damage now. We're doing 5,300, and then this dragon's going to hit us for 6,686. Whew. And then we hit back for 5,800. So that was the reflected damage we did. That will not reflected the damage we take to go back. So it is affected by what happens to us. So the opposite is also true. So this time we're going to take on 6,600 and a bit damage. And last time we hit for 5,800. This time we hit for 6,700. Because we put some debuffs on the boss, this isn't a straight you've done damage to me, I'm going to do a percentage of that back to you. It is manipulated by what happens in the game. So debuffs on the boss, manipulate it. So if it can be manipulated, let's put some crit rate on it and see if we can crit with it. So there's crit rate and healing effect, attack speed, crit rate, and then healing effect and crit rate. So we're going to take it out of being having a Lord bonus. We'll go back to our normal skills, but we're going to see if we can crit with it all. Now we'll be able to crit with our basic attacks because that's exactly what it does. But whether we can crit with our passive, we'll have to wait and see. So if we run a little test on her, we just have to wait to see if we can do a double hit, and both of those double hits are crits. Now, there we go. Hit there quite nicely for 13,500. Now, we've already hit back and we had a crit for 7,000, another crit for 7,000. There's our normal hit for 4 and a bit. Now there is our first crit. That is a crit on the damage that we normally do. So that's our 150% damage has now been boosted by crit to 9k. Now, we should be able to crit with that. There's no reason why we shouldn't. However, we can also now crit with the damage we receive that we're pushing back. That now crits for just over 16.5k. We got hit for 13, and now this time we are hit volleying that right back at the boss for 16.5k, which is absolutely brilliant. It sort of implies it's a normal attack. So I've put her in with a Volca, and I'm just watching her attack now. Every attack she does, she heals. So Volca lets you heal when you do a basic attack. Every attack she does. And here she is, full on ultimate mode, so her ultimate is now permanent. Every attack she's doing, she is healing for. So it's a heal, it's a heal, it's a heal. Whether she does her passive, it's a heal. Everything she does, she heals with it. So that is a basic attack she does every time. All her skill kits affect just a basic attack. So what kit can we put her in? So if we have a look at the different kit sets, there are going to be a couple that stand out. Now, if you've got a longer fight, Soulbound Arcana would be a good set for it if you want to do a lot of damage, because it's not 5 ultimates from her, because she can only do 2, so she'd be terrible in it. At the moment it's a bit buggy, and the Soulbound Arcana set was with 5 ultimates from anyone, which is brilliant. So if you've got 5 ultimates going, then absolutely fantastic. You can put her in that long fight. She has got 50% straight up extra damage. If it gets fixed, should be useless in it, so do bear that in mind if you put yours in a Soulbound Arcana set. The next set you might want to look at is Infernal Roar. Now we already established that everything she does is a basic attack, so this is a straight up 40% buff to every attack she does. Every attack she does is a basic attack. This does a 40% basic attack damage, so the basic attack damage will go up by 40% on everything she does. Good set for her, I feel. Now the other set people are going to talk about obviously is the Glacier set. Now if we have a look at the Glacier set, what does it do? Here we are. Gains an attack equal to 6% max HP when deployed. That's when deployed, so you've got her max HP that you see on the screen, any HP you attach to her, and then you've got the HP she puts on herself, and then you've got your Paragon bonus as well going on to that. Now that's when deployed. So that would be your deployed HP. So you can get, I would imagine, maybe 12k attack out of it. I would guess would be, yeah, rough calculation, 12k, which is a nice amount of attack on her and should be really tanky. I think it's a good set to get on her, particularly if you can get like crit rate and attack speed and that sort of thing attached to it. But how many bits am I going to have with Glacier? They've got HP, they've got crit rate, they've got attack percent, they've got attack speed on it. Bar's running out of stats that I could or might have available for her to be using, and I don't have many on my account, certainly not with good rolls. Now the other thing that I want to have a look at is where we're going to actually put our dust and skill crystals, or where do we want it to land. Basic attack, well, it's basic attack. Basic attack is a basic attack, isn't it? I mean, it's goes up 5% damage. It's nothing harmful about it. This I think could be good, getting a lot more damage out of it. If you go there, yeah, it's quite good. It's not too shabby. It's nothing overly exciting, but it's nothing overly bad either. So bear that in mind with how it goes. I think these are terrible. If you have any land in here, this would be a nightmare for you. I don't think having 1 or 2 units attacking you without retribution, their damage being a little bit less, is going to be much. And base damage based on max HP by 1% and another 1%, taking up to 4%, is going to be what? If you have 200k attack, oh, there's 200k HP, is going to be 8k, is it? I mean, I don't really think it's brilliant. It's not. I wouldn't want my skill crystal to land in there personally. You might be different on that. You might think absolutely fantastic, I do want that, but for me, it's a bit of a non-starter. I want none of mine to go in there. Other than that, yeah, I don't think there's much to her really. It's just that one ability. I don't really like it. I think it's a bit clunky. To make it really good, you'd need that percentage upped to make it worthwhile, I think, and they haven't. So now lastly, that brings us on to our ultimate. So the first one, max HP increased by 20%. So this is only for the heal. I presume this is for the heal and for when you go into the ultimate mode. So quite a good one to start with. The next two there are damage increases by 25% each. So that's a nice one as well. I think that's good. Nice to have them there. And then I think the fifth one is an absolute nightmare. Wouldn't want any to go in there. That would be horrific. All you're going to, because you can only ever get it twice, so all you're going to actually save is 200 rage for a skill crystal, and I would rather have a skill crystal than the 200 rage for myself. So if I got to level 4 in the ultimate, I think I'd stop. I just wouldn't want any more to go anywhere else, and I certainly wouldn't want to go into that second passive as well. I don't really like that one. So quite a mixed bag with where the skill crystals or dust could land, but I guess we'll find out in a minute. I will take her up to dust, completion of dust, and I don't know if I'll push any further than that. I think I've got other champions that I prefer. I don't think she's a bad champion. I think she's absolutely fine, which isn't wrong. It's not wrong to have a champion that's fine. That is perfectly okay. She's a perfectly good champion, but that's all she is. She's just perfectly good. I don't think she's game-breakingly must-have, best champion ever, triple S ninja tier, you can't bend it. She's just fine. She's a nice champion. She's good. Yeah, it's all right. And I think it's good to have champions like that. You won't break the game, but I don't think you should be too disappointed if you pull her, particularly as she's a good source of single target damage. So for me, I've gone full out on Infernal Roar, and then I've gone Warlord on the left hand side to aid with a bit of speed. I haven't got a speed up anywhere near enough for what I want. I'd want a couple of hundred speed in her. Now let's see if we're any lucky with these. Yeah, not too bad in the first passive. Yes, in the ultimate, that's fine. Where else are we doing? Right then. Oh, okay. Yeah, not too bad. Back into the first passive, and back into the basic. And that's us done. So we got 1 in there, got 2 into the ultimate, that's good, and we got unfortunately 3 there. We've got none there, so that's a bonus. Happy with that, because that looks god awful. I'd be gutted if I got any there. I'd even call that a waste of dust, to be honest, to go there. So that's me, that's how I've got her kitted out, that's where I'm going to be using her. I don't think I'll put any more crystals into her. This is what I've gone with Artifact. I'll probably take this up to level 25 at some point. Does increase the block by 1, which she could probably do with if I want to tank up a few more units with her, but also gives her that heal on all her attacks, so that would be handy. Okay, where would we use her? Right, Faction Trials. I don't think she's going to be much use in the Northerner one. I don't think she's strong enough, but in the Arbiter she may well help out. Single target, I think if you can build a team around her, then she would be good, but she won't do anything for me. I'm running more of a RAF. AMR. Now, if you have not done AMR yet and you're new to the game and you've pulled her, congratulations, you've just cleared it. She is awesome at AMR tanking. Put her down there, put her with a healer, and you can put her in full attack mode and she will clear that out for you, while the others just take care of some ads. Yeah, I think she'll be really good for you there. Absolutely, without a doubt, that is going to be her place to shine. Tide, you can absolutely boost her HP up and get a load of BP. Should be good. Guild Wars. Right. This Retribution is going to be an issue. If you know you're facing her, you're not going to put your tank out first to attack her, because you know the subsequent units coming on afterwards will all do 20% less damage. What you're going to do is do your damage dealers first to take her on, because they will take her out quite quickly then, and then you'll put your tank in. So I think Guild War, yeah, I think he's struggling even to make it even. So I think, you should put your BP up for Guild War, but I don't know. I don't think she's going to be that good there. Yeah, I think absolutely solid. Yeah, I think she's good here. Long sustained fight. You'll be able to put her in any sort of kit you want, whether you want her. The only thing I would say to bear in mind is, now remember phase 1 where he does that slam, so he does an AoE attack, boom, and then he slams down on the person with the highest HP. You know who that's going to be. You know exactly who that champion's going to be. So make sure that when she does the AoE attack, boom, then does a single target, she's tanky enough to tank that hit for you. Or make sure you've got some heals ready to go to take her back up, or put her in a Valkyrie. She should heal herself up fine later on. But yeah, I think she's going to be good in a nice long run, because she will have her ultimate on permanently for a lot of that fight. I imagine she'll be good there. The rest of the play, Void Rift, she's going to be great at. She's going to help you out. Guild Boss 1, probably if you haven't got anyone else, should be fine. She's a single target damage dealer. And then the rest of the place, I don't think she's going to be any good whatsoever. So that's pretty much it from me, really. I just don't think it's going to be any good. I think maybe I might have underscored her in Titanic Ruins, to be honest, as well. So who knows? Wait and see. Right, that's me done. That's Jeera. That's how she works. That's how everything on her acts. So if you're being hit, you can hit that damage back for quite a lot. So maybe I'll play around and put some max crit damage on her or something like that and see what it's like. Thank you very much for your time. This is Mystical Gaming. If you can leave me a thumbs up, like and subscribe, that would be handy. And I'll see you all in a video again tomorrow. Cheers for your time. Goodbye.